Hi folks, how you doing? Russell, TrueResults303.com. Check out the website link in the description box. Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Putting the healing back in health. When you're at the website, sign up for the free newsletter. Check out the free gifts, free downloads there for you, setting goals, nutrition, supplementation. Once again, join the social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Join the community, like those pages. Got the podcast out there as well, True Results 303. Coming at you today with the 5 steps to preventing cancer, right? There's always going to be some steps and lifestyle changes that you can make that will hopefully prevent cancer. You know, it's something that we can't really prevent that we can't guarantee 100%, I should say, just because of all the toxins and the chemicals in the environment. And of course, I have a video on free will. Does it exist? And we've got to understand that just the lifestyle that we live or that we have lived in the past has its consequences, right? So it could be too late, but at least now we can try to rehabilitate the body and get it back up, hopefully functioning at a very high level and being able to create that healthy environment once again. So these 5 steps that I am going to share with you, I got from this book right here, right? The Cancer Cure. Let me get up a little bit closer so you can see that. So what does it say? It says there are 5. One is maximizing your mindset. Now, I just made a video on this about the true way of positive thinking. I would definitely suggest you guys check that one out. I just released that one, I think. No, I haven't released it yet. It'll definitely be out before this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. But once again, it's just realizing that our mind has a lot to do with a lot of these things. Alright, you got to be positive. But there is a way to go about it. Of course, it's visually what you are seeing. Of course, what we talk about ourselves. You know, I've heard people say, if you heard someone talk about you the same way you talk about yourself, would that person still be your friend? You know, so once again, it's thinking positively. Okay, that's going to be number 1. Number 2, some of you might not like this, but it does make sense. 1 is going to be protecting your nervous system, the nerves, right? That's what's all inside of your spine. So according to this guy, it's going to be getting chiropractic adjustments if it's needed. We've got to understand that the spine protects the nervous system. That's what's in there, all the nerves. And all these nerves go to, you know, from the toe to the head, from the head to the very tip of our toes. They connect in with our organs and our intestines, right? And our intestines is our immune system, okay? So we've got to understand that. And then, of course, so what happens is if the vertebrae gets misaligned, it's going to kink off part of the nerve itself. Same thing if you got that sciatica pain and it's coming down the leg. I have that issue. That is the vertebrae pinching the nerve off and sending that shock down the leg. So if your body is not able to communicate properly, how is it going to be able to function at a high level? So we've got to make sure, you know, look up foods that can help protect the nerves. Of course, you know, that could just be eating whole foods. I'm going to go simple with you. Eating whole foods, staying well hydrated, things like that are going to keep your nervous system strong. You know, and here he breaks it down. Here's a little picture of what nerves and how they connect with the immune system and stuff. Tools for correction. Once again, get the book if you really want to. You know, it's a good book. I liked it. It was definitely a good read. It's actually written by a gentleman who actually had cancer himself. So number 3 is what I just kind of talked about. We're going to lead into it, is maximum nutrition. Do you have enough vitamins and minerals that the body is functioning at a high level? And I've made another video on this about the vitamin lye, right? So we've got to understand that a lot of the vitamins out there right now are synthetic. If you're going to Walmart, Walgreens, unfortunately, these are synthetic. And when your body is consuming a synthetic vitamin, it has difficulty processing it because vitamins are very small particles, right? And when they're that small of particles, there are even smaller particles within them, antioxidants, all these other things. And research is starting to show that the body cannot really digest a synthetic vitamin. It needs a natural one. So I'm going to encourage you to do your own research on it. Don't take my word for it, right? I'm just the messenger. You still got to do your own research. This is the beginning of that research journey. So once again, make sure you're doing more research. But vitamins and minerals, foods that are high quality, produce, fruits, vegetables, things like that. Of course, you can try the organic. I've got a video on that as well of the best organic foods to buy. I've got a video on how to create a longer shelf life for your fruits and vegetables. Check that one out as well. But once again, are you giving your body the correct nutrients to keep it functioning properly, okay, and at a high level? So next, we're going to be going with maximizing your oxygen and lean muscle mass, right? We've got to understand oxygen is very powerful for us within our body. So we got to make sure that we are consuming it properly. This could be the equivalent of breathing properly. Are you breathing through your diaphragm and your belly, or are you up here in your chest? We want to be breathing deep. Once we get that oxygen deep down into the belly, now it's able to actually disperse through the body a little bit better. Okay? So we got to make sure that we are actually breathing properly. Are you breathing properly? And then, of course, movement. I just read something a couple days ago. I can't remember what I was listening to. It's talking about the lymphatic system. I think I was listening to a podcast, and how the lymphatic system, it only moves when you move. If you're not moving, your lymphs are static. And if I remember correctly, they said the lymphs is another way that the body, the lymph nodes and the lymph system, if I remember correctly, this is just popping into my head, so I could be completely wrong. It's just another way to detoxify the body. So if that gets gunked up, once again, now your body's storing more toxins, right? And then it said lean muscle mass. I always tell people that just want to run, and they feel like they're not getting any results. You've got to understand you can only run so much and eat so little. Now, I'm not saying running's bad, but you need to incorporate weights as well, because with weight training, you're going to build muscle. Muscle burns calories, right? So you either have the ability to burn more calories, or you have the ability to eat more food, because now your body needs more calories to actually use or keep the muscle that you have gained. So you got to make sure that you're lifting weights as well. We all know that people that have more fat on their body are going to be less healthy. Okay, we need to understand that for sure. Number 5 is minimize toxins. Minimize toxins. And this is very easy. People don't understand that a lot of these shampoos you have, now you got the paraben free, the sulfate, I think it's sulfate, the sulfate free. You need to start using those types of shampoos at minimum amount. Watch what your skin is your biggest organ. Whatever goes on your skin is going into your body. What toxins are in those beauty products that you're using? Same thing with deodorant. What toxins and what chemicals are in these beauty products, right? Next one is your water. Are you having a purifier? Do you have a water purifier of some sort? This one says plastics. You got to understand that plastics and heat, especially heating your food in plastics or drinking out of a water bottle that's been sitting out in the sun forever, putting hot liquids in a water bottle allows the toxins to leach out of these plastics. And they are very dangerous for men, because men, one of our main sex hormone is testosterone. These plastics start to create estrogen within our body, which now is not what a man wants. We do have some, a little bit of estrogen, but we don't want to have elevated levels. Same with women. Estrogen is your main hormone. You don't need excess estrogen. And then, of course, now this is what they call, if I remember correctly, the xenoestrogen, which is a totally different ballgame, and it's really messing you up. Okay? So you've got to understand these things. Then, of course, it's the same thing. This one's talking about food additives, Personal care products, diethanolamine. I'll just show you the page. There it is. Look at them. Those are the ones you need to worry about. Okay, sodium lauryl sulfate fluoride, propylene glycol, formaldehyde, xylene, phthalates, toluene, phenol. Okay, so you just got to make sure. This could be something as simple as, you're doing just drinking juices, kind of detox and things like that. So there you go, though. The 5-step program from this book right here, The Cancer Killer, how to hopefully prevent or at least minimize the risk of contracting cancer in your older age. And what was it again? Let's go through it. Let's see if I can remember it. Let me see. I already can't even think of it. Number 1. What was number 1? Dang it. Can't remember number 1. I know number 2 was nervous supply. Then it was nutrition. Then it was oxygen and muscles. And then it was toxins. But I can't remember number 1. Probably the most important one, and I can't remember it. Number 1. What was number 1? Oh, positive mindset. There you go. Positive mindset. I promise I didn't see that. Positive mindset, nervous system, nutrition, oxygen, and muscle, minimizing toxins. There you go. Use it. Once again, check out the book. I got another one where it talks about, another video where it talks about radiation versus chemotherapy, and then there's also certain blood tests that you can look into when you are diagnosed with cancer, because a lot of these drugs, if you are in that dire situation where you need to do radiation or chemotherapy, a lot of these drugs are just, they're a broad drug, to where if you take a specific blood test, it's some German blood test, then you can actually target what the specific cancer is, and there are better drugs that can be used for that type of cancer in certain situations. So once again, check out the book. Good read. I bought it new. You can probably get it from a used bookstore, Amazon, something like that. I paid $25 for it at a chiropractic place. Actually, I was just kind of walking through trying to hand out business cards. So once again, don't forget to visit us on social media, like our pages, True Results 303, no E. Check out the podcast, True Results 303. Once again, this is also a fitness channel, nutrition, spiritual Christianity, Catholicism channel. So go ahead and check that out as well. I hope you enjoy it. Share this information with those that you know. Once again, subscribe to this channel, share and like these videos.